Hi guys, welcome to my channel Lush Gardener. I hope you guys are fine and are safe. So another question that is frequently asked is do succulents like full hot sun? Now guys, remember, intense light in combination with high temperatures can be really brutal for your succulents. So you will have to do a slow and gradual introduction to direct sunlight, especially morning direct sunlight. I would advise do not give any afternoon direct sunlight for your succulents, because there is a high risk that the succulents will get burnt. So I wouldn't say hot sun, but you can give a good amount of bright sunlight. The morning sunlight is very mild until 11, depending upon where you belong to. A lot of people have hot temperatures after 10 a.m. itself, and some people, they have a slightly cooler temperature until 12 noon. So depending upon your environment and climate, you can keep your succulents accordingly. The reason behind that is if you're not going to do a gradual introduction, if you're just going to buy your succulents and put it out in direct sunlight, it will definitely get burnt. It might even get burnt to a point wherein it cannot recover back. So you have to be extremely careful. Most succulents will be able to tolerate full sun, like the ones that I have over here. Now these are agoides. They prefer a good amount of light. At no given point of time you can keep them in a place where there is low light, because they will start to rot. And this is something that I'm saying from my personal experience, because I used to love agoides, and I used to at times keep them in indirect bright light, less light, and I noticed that they started to rot. So now I have ensured, as you can see, I have kept them on this parapet where it gets a good amount of light. They get good amount of morning direct sunlight, indirect afternoon sunlight as well. They tend to get evening direct sunlight as well. So there is basically light at all given point of time. So they have been doing quite well. You can see how healthy and how colorful they are. So ensure that if you have agoides, give them a good amount of light, otherwise they will start to have issues. So as I said about gradual introduction, you have to slowly introduce. Probably first day you can start with 1 hour of morning direct sunlight, get it back to indirect bright light. Second day probably you can increase by 1 hour 30 minutes, so on and so forth. So you can keep increasing it 30 minutes each day, and then get it back to the indirect bright light. In this way you will be able to acclimate your succulents to full morning direct sunlight. If you have recently purchased your succulent, do not put it out directly. Do not do a gradual introduction for a newly purchased succulent. It has to get acclimated first in its environment. So probably for a week or so, let it be in indirect but really bright light, and then after a week or so you can slowly start introducing it to morning direct sunlight. Slow introduction to acclimate them to the morning direct sunlight. So that was all about it. Do not put it out in afternoon sunlight. Otherwise, just because I have said that it requires a good amount of light doesn't mean that you're going to put it out in afternoon direct sunlight. Otherwise it will get burnt. Now if you only tend to receive afternoon direct sunlight, then you'll have to probably use some kind of filtration, probably a green shade cloth or anything that, as long as it can give a filtered light and not direct afternoon sunlight, the succulents will do quite well. So guys, I hope that this video was helpful to you. If it was, please hit the like button. If you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing to it. Until then, take care, stay safe and keep planting.